So, how would you say your experience in the classroom as a teacher, leading the classroom, has transferred over to leading a business?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Um, I think as a teacher, you have to be super organized and very detail oriented, or just maybe a lot of teachers just naturally are. And that's how I was as a teacher. I was, really organized, really detail oriented. Running a special ed class is hard with so many different levels and staff training and behavior plans. So to stay on top of everything, I think you just really have to be organized. And that's something that I've definitely brought over to how I run my business is I do a lot. Like we have podcasts and we have membership and we're always thinking of the next thing too. And I think to get as much done, we have a small team as we do, it's being really organized and creating systems. And I think that's successful classrooms run well on systems, and I think successful businesses do too. When you have a process and a system and it's not haphazard because you're not redoing work. You're not like wasting time looking for things or being last minute when you have like a schedule and a system. And those things I think really lend itself to just being productive in whatever setting you're in.
hmm Oh, yeah. Our CEO of the Global Autism Project, Molly, um, she has definitely drilled that into us as a team. We're like addicted to Asana, which I don't know if
Yes.
you're familiar. It's,
Yeah, I
yeah.
am. We use Asana.
Yeah, and we are not sponsored by Asana, everyone. So,
Maybe one day.
but yeah, you never know. But yeah, I agree completely because when you don't have those systems in place, things can get lost and fall through the cracks, and it just affects the rest of the pipeline. Like
Mhm.
even with a podcast, with one episode, there's so many steps, that go just beyond the actual interview that people hear.
Yeah.
Like there's the editing process, there's the promotion with the guest images and the audiograms and like all of the research that goes into the back end and like the front end also.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I can definitely agree that organization is important. How about with um, your role as the leader? How do you encourage and foster teamwork amongst your staff?
So I really, once I started, I feel like I so gradually became a business owner because it started as a blog and then it was this. So I feel a little lucky that I like eased into the position, but as it became much more of a real position that was like, oh, this is a real business. We really have something here. I kind of geeked out on any like productivity business tool I could like get my hands on. Like I was like, what podcast can I listen to? What book can I listen to? Because I didn't feel prepared for that role. I'm like, I'm prepared for the role of a behavior analyst and a teacher, but like I remember telling my husband one day, should I get my MBA? Should I go back to school? And he's like, no, Sasha, you're not going back to get your MBA. Like I was like, I don't know how to do
Mhm.
this. So I really for a while just like tried to consume, and I still do, like try to learn as much as I can about being a good leader and managing my team. And we have a small team, and one of them is my husband, so that's like a whole different mess on how you manage and work with your spouse. It's great and horrible at the same time, as anyone who works with their spouse maybe would agree. Um, but I try to utilize the same principles that I talk about with teachers with staff training, in building rapport and having really clear expectations up front. I think something as simple as, being clear on expectations just can solve so many potential problems right off the bat that it's kind of crazy that we aren't regularly doing that. So being really clear on expectations from the start, I think really helps. And having an environment and a culture where people can ask for help, can ask for advice and changes and mess up and make mistakes, and it's okay. But having those expectations really clear up front, I think is so imperative.
hmm Yeah, and keeping that mission of whatever you guys are doing at the forefront, right? Like the
Yeah.
impact that you have that you're making is huge. You're helping teachers and professionals to become better at their job, to to help people with autism and help their families. And it's just like a domino effect from there. You've been watching Autism Knows No Borders. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know what you think in the comments section. Click here to watch this interview in its entirety. You can also find us on your favorite podcast app. Tune in each week for engaging conversations of how people across the globe are inspiring change and building community. Thanks for watching. Take care.